Hey there, it's Sydney with Tastefully Frugal, and today I'm back with another project out of the back to school mystery box that I did with 143 vinyl. We're going to be making these really fun teacher fuel tumblers. Now this is a great project for beginners. It's a great project even if you're an advanced crafter, but this is a really good beginner project if you haven't worked with adhesive vinyl before. We're going to be using the color changing tumblers, which these are my absolute favorite cups ever. I have a ridiculous amount of these cups in my house. I absolutely love them. And then we're going to be using the Magic Deceit Vinyl from 143 Vinyl. And this is by far my favorite adhesive vinyl to work with. It's so fun. It has gives a nice shimmer of color to projects, and they have a lot of different colors available. So I've linked the category in the description of my video for all of these, and I'm going to be using the red and the gunmetal. But I put all the information in the description of this video if you need that. Also, if you didn't know, from the Back to School Mystery Box, I created an ebook that gives you step-by-step project tutorials for all the projects we're making. There's also some exclusive SVGs included for free, like this Teacher Fuel one. So I've linked in the description of this video the link to get the ebook as well as the SVGs. You can get those for free if you purchase the Back to School Mystery Box. So if you want to make this exact cup with the same SVG file, the same design, go ahead and check out that link if you haven't already. So today's project, like I mentioned, is very beginner friendly. So I'll share some tips when it comes to layering vinyl on projects. Also some tips or hacks if you're working with tumblers to make sure you can line your designs up with ease, I should say. So I will be cutting everything on the Cricut Maker 3, but this is definitely a project that you can do with any cutting machine. I'll also share some tips with you on how to quickly, easily cut multiple colored designs in Cricut Design Space as well. So let's go ahead and first hop over to Design Space so I can show you how to line up the different colored designs onto one mat.
Okay, first things first, let's go ahead and get our Teacher Fuel image onto our mat. I have included the link to this SVG in the description of this video, and then we're going to size it down. So we want it to be 3.5 inches tall, so we're not changing it a whole lot, but you will notice in the layers panel that all three parts of the image are its own layer. So if you click Make It at this point, Fuel and Teacher will be lined up to save space, and that's not what we want. We want it to be how it is on the canvas. So what you'll want to do is make sure to select the image on the canvas and then click Ungroup. That will make it so we can change each layer independently. So we'll select the Teacher and the Fuel and then click Weld. This will make it one layer instead of two so that it cuts just how it shows on the canvas. So let's go ahead and click Make It. And then we will select On Mat, since we'll be cutting on mat. This only shows up on the Maker 3, the Explorer 3, and the Joy. And then you'll have the Teacher Fuel as it is on the mat. But let's go ahead and make it a little bit easier. We're going to move the gas can over to that first mat too, so we only have to cut once. So click the 3 circles and then Move Object, and then select the black mat and continue. And then you can just go ahead and scoot the gas can over to the other side of the mat. Now be sure to make a note of how much vinyl you'll need at this point, because you'll want to cut your vinyl down so that both pieces can fit on the mat. Let's go ahead and head over to the Maker 3 and get cutting. So this is the Magic Deceit. It's white on the back, so make sure to just cut shiny side up and line your pieces up at the top corner. This is why it's important also to make sure you know where your pieces are on your mat, on the preview mat. Then just go ahead and load your mat into the machine, click the load arrow button, and then we will begin cutting our design. Now the Maker 3 does cut a whole lot, the Maker 3 and the Explorer 3 cut a whole lot faster than the other machines. This is sped up a little bit, but not a lot. It did not take very much time at all to cut these designs. I am a huge fan of the Maker 3 and use it all the time because it does cut so much quicker than the other machines. And then we'll just peel off the mat from our vinyl and get ready to start weeding. I am going to trim down the Teacher Fuel a little bit so I don't have any wasted vinyl, and so it's easier to weed. And then I'm just using these stab and grab tweezers to weed our design. These come in so handy when you're weeding small pieces. It's easy to just grab the small pieces like I did with the A, the center of the A there, and I'll show you here in just a bit with the other centers of the letter. I absolutely love the stab and grab tweezers. So if you're doing an order from 143 Vinyl, I definitely suggest adding a pair of these to your cart if you haven't already, because look how quick and easy it makes weeding the center of the letters. So once we have all of the fuel weeded, then we will just weed our gas can, which will only take a second also. And then we'll be ready to use the transfer tape. I do want to show with you a tip that I use when making tumblers. Before I do that, we are going to be only using one piece of transfer tape for the whole design. So when you're doing this, you'll want to cut the biggest part of the design out of transfer tape first. So that's the teacher fuel. So just line it up on the back of your transfer tape and cut it down to size. We'll just get this cut, and since the teacher fuel is the biggest part of the design, we are going to put that on the tumbler first. Those stab and grab tweezers come in handy with getting the transfer tape off the backing also. And how I like to do transfer tape is I just line the transfer tape up a little bit above the design on the table and press it down so that it doesn't move. And then I just slowly peel the backer back, and this keeps bubbles or wrinkles from getting in the transfer tape and your design. Then just use your squeegee tool and press from the middle to up and then down. And then here's a tip, have a second squeegee tool available and set your cup up on that. That way the cup doesn't move, and it's a lot easier to get the design on. And then you'll just remove the design on the onto the transfer tape from the backing and just place it on your cup. You can use a squeegee or your finger to press it down, and then just peel away in the top from the top corner and keep it as close to the design as possible. Try not to wrinkle the transfer tape because we're going to be using it again for the second piece. And then you'll just want to place that same transfer tape piece on your second design. Be sure to cut it down to size because we don't need all that extra transfer tape. And then again, just remove the backing from the design so the design goes on the transfer tape. You'll see here on two of the hearts, for some reason, some of the backing stayed on the heart. So we're just going to use the stab and grab tweezers again to peel it off. If this happens, it's a really easy fix. So we've got that removed, and then let's go ahead and we will line our design up. Just make sure that none of the layers are overlapping. So just be sure to look up at the gas can as well as the hearts, and then once you have everything placed how you like it, press it down. Again, use your finger or your thumbs to press down on your design. And again, starting in the top left corner, peel it back, keep that transfer tape as close to the cup as possible so if anything lifts, it doesn't fully come off. And you have your cup. Just go ahead and put your straw in, your lid, and be sure not to use a cup for about 2 to 3 days to make sure that that vinyl has a chance to really stay on there. That gives you the most longevity for your project. But I absolutely love the look of the Magic Deceit. The sparkle in those two colors is just really fun. This is one of my favorite my combination of blanks and vinyl.
I love gifting tumblers to teachers, to friends, to anyone really. Making a personalized tumbler or a custom tumbler is a really easy and affordable gift, and they're really fun to make too. So if you would like to purchase anything that we used in this video, if you didn't get the back to school mystery box, or even if you did and you want extras, I've linked everything that we used in the description of this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and I would love to have you subscribe to Tastefully Frugal for more Cricut tips, tricks, and tutorials. Have a great day.